Gabriella Messina grew up in northwestern Pennsylvania, always a spinner of tales, even if they were acted out with her dolls. Her earliest ventures into writing consisted of producing 30-page book reports for her homeschool study program. Though her writing began in prose, it was screenwriting that later captured her attention and put her on the path to authorship. When she's not writing, she enjoys reading, catching up on her favorite films and television series, enjoying the outdoors with her son, and getting to know her fellow authors and readers. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Gabriella Messina.
When did you become a writer?
Well, I started to write actually screenplays. I started when I was about 21, longer ago than I want to think about. And I started with writing screenplays and teleplays. And then about 4 years ago, I started taking some of those screenplays that I had written and adapting them into novel form. Screenwriting is pretty difficult to get into, but I looked at my stories and I said I really think they're good, and I think people will like them. And maybe there's another medium. KDP was brand new then, and there would be another route that I could go, and I'm really glad that I did.
What was the deciding factor that, no matter how many years ago, made you decide that, yes, this is what I want to do?
I think it was just the opportunity. I started seeing one of the stories that I had, one of the scripts was very much the paranormal, and so many things were coming along like Twilight and stuff. They were so popular, and I thought, I have a really good story here. I think people would really like it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I should try that. I should try writing it as a story.
Okay.
And it just kind of like a domino, even the other things that I had. Maybe I should make that one. Well, that one would be good too. So it just kind of went like that.
Sure. And what genre or genres of books do you write?
Well, at this point, I have an urban fantasy trilogy that features werewolves in it. And it's called the Bloodline series.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have a contemporary mystery series. It's about an American woman who works with Scotland Yard and Forensic Services in London. And I have 4 books out so far in that series. I also have a standalone historical fantasy called The Cold Ones that's set in ancient Ireland. And stars St. Patrick, actually.
Okay.
And I have an anthology that I just released with a couple other urban fantasy authors that we released for charity called Creature Feature.
Okay. And what writers do you contribute to that has inspired your type of writing?
Wow. I would say mystery-wise, I've always been a big fan of Agatha Christie. And in more modern, Elizabeth George, who writes the Inspector Lynley mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
I just love the way that her books are written. And I was inspired because she's American and she writes British mysteries.
Right.
And they're so British.
Right.
But, she's so American that I thought, well, she can do it. I think I can do it. I'd have to say with fantasy, I don't know if there's a single author. I love Elizabeth Hunter. I love her stuff. April White. I like fantasy that shows you something different, and it shows you that has its roots in reality.
Okay.
I think kind of the best fantasy or sci-fi that you can look at it and go, this could actually happen. This makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of took that angle with my own, making it more about medicine and science and history than just magic.
Right.
I kind of gravitate towards books that are like that and authors that write those kind of books.
Okay. When you were growing up and in high school, what did you think your dream job was at that time?
Well, early on, and I was actually homeschooled all through high school. And early on in high school, I wanted to be a marine biologist.
Hmm.
I'd always wanted to be one since I was about 4 years old. Um, I saw Jaws, and something told me that I could reason with that shark. Like if I was a marine biologist, he wouldn't have hurt all those people. And so I thought that, but I got to be a teenager and realized that 90% of your time you're stuck in a lab with goop.
Right.
And then I said, that's probably not what I want to do. And probably about halfway through high school, I started to get interested in acting. And I initially went to college for that. I majored in theater.
Okay.
So kind of a big leap from marine biology to,
Exactly. Right. But that's what
yeah.
kids do, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And where did you grow up?
I grew up in northwestern Pennsylvania,
Okay.
like near Lake Erie.
Okay. And are you still in that area?
Well, I'm still near Lake Erie, but I'm in New York now. So
Okay.
just kind of swung up a little bit there.
Right. Right. Uh, I always ask the questions of the authors because you're the job that you want to do now, being an author. What is the
Mhm.
job that you would never ever want to do?
Oh, wow. Oh, I don't think I'd ever want to be a politician.
Okay.
Yeah, because I just, it doesn't seem like it's a fun job. And
No, it doesn't.
not at all. And I don't like people being mean to me. So
Well, there you go. Right.
yeah, so I wouldn't want to do that. But
Okay. If you weren't an author, what job do you think you would be doing? I know we were talking about you were thinking about being a marine biologist and a screenwriter. What
yeah.
do you think you would be doing if you weren't an author right now?
If I weren't an author right now, I'd probably be doing something in theater. Um, it's something that's always interested me.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do tend to be kind of a shy person, but it's surprising a lot of people in theater are.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, I'd probably be doing something in that. Even backstage, I did a lot of work backstage when I was in school. So,
Okay.
I can make a decorative column better than anybody. So
There you go. There, that's they can never have enough decorative columns, right?
no, and getting it straight is hard to do. So
That's the secret. Exactly. There's
yes.
always leaning. You never get them
Oh yeah.
straight. Right.
Yep.
I had heard that you are in a new up and coming group that is just started. The Double D. Would
hmm
you like to talk about how you got involved with that and what that actually is for you and what you're doing in it?
Well, I'm pretty new to it. I'm a newbie. I think I've only been in a couple weeks. But I was invited to it by Fred Carroll. He, I think it was the cold ones that actually caught his attention, and he saw that it was historical fantasy, and there just isn't a lot of that out there. And so he asked if I would be interested in being a part of the group, and he told me about it, what they're trying to do for authors and helping us to get more visibility and, cooperatively pull each other forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, it sounds like a good deal. I'd like to know, to learn more about it. And he gave me the opportunity to join. So I have. I'm still kind of getting to know everybody. And so far, everybody seemed really nice and welcoming and stuff. So
Good.
I'm looking forward to the, things we're going to get to do in the future, maybe.
Okay. And you would, since you're having such a good experience with it, let other authors know that maybe they might consider participating in it as well?
Oh, sure. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I've had a lot of good opportunities to get my work out there and have people learn about me that I wasn't exposed to before. I always like to connect with new authors and stuff because there's a certain amount of overlap, but you're always going to meet new people. The
Sure.
more authors you interact with and stuff, and bloggers and PAs and everybody.
Sure.
I just love being able to do that.
Right. Okay, I always ask the authors when I do this interview to think back when you released your first book and was writing your first book. Some
Mhm.
authors, it's been a long, long time ago, others, relatively new. What advice would you give to the brand new writer who is just now writing their book or just now published their first book? And what words of wisdom or advice would you give them coming into this crazy world of writing?
I would say the first thing is to start connecting with people early. When I came into it, I had already put it out, the first book, but I didn't really know anything. I was really winging it, and I began to connect with people, that were bloggers, people that had a little more experience, and just started absorbing all of the information and the resources that they had and stuff like that. That yeah, I would have to say that's probably the first thing is learning as much as you can while you're writing that first one,
Mm-hmm.
so that you're ready, because it all just kind of hits you at once,
Right.
and you don't really know what you're going and
Right.
and it can be discouraging if you don't have those tools to know what you can do for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That you can find yourself feeling discouraged, like nobody likes your work, and you don't know what you can do to let people know about it. That a lot of times it's just that simple. They don't know about your work.
Right. Okay. All right. And where can they find you? On Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those wonderful places.
Okay, I'm on Facebook. I have my author page. It's author Gabriella Messina. And I also have a readers group. It's called Gabby's Books and Muchness, where I do a weekly update there to let everybody know what's going on with my work and events that will be coming up. I also host rapid fire takeovers, which is kind of a cool thing that I do as part of another group that I'm in called SLP. I'm a partner author there. But we host those there, and I have showcases on Saturday and stuff. I also have a group called the Writers Bistro. That's a writing group. It's really just about the craft, in a way, of writing. It's a great place where writers, readers, everybody's welcome. But if you've ever been curious about the nuts and bolts and how we do things, that's the place to go.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of information in the files, little tips and tricks and templates for everything from how to write a book blurb to what archetypes your characters are, all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
So,
okay.
I'm on Twitter too. My whatever they call that handle, is that what it's called?
That's what I hear.
I think so.
That, yes.
Is Girly Clown. It's GIRLIECLOWN. And I'm on Instagram technically, but I'm still trying to figure that out. So I'm not as active there as I should be. But I'm working on it. I've been so busy writing that I haven't taken the time to just sit down and learn it.
Sure.
And get the hang of it.
Right.
But I am there somewhere.
Right. All right. But that's a good thing. You're busy writing. So that's good.
That's true.
Do you have any events coming up, book signings, anything like that you'd like to talk about?
I haven't actually done a book signing yet. So
Okay.
No, I can't think of anything big coming up. I'll be releasing a new book in September, but that's about it. So,
Okay, that was my next question. I was going to ask you when was the next book going to
okay.
release? Is that the
Yeah.
last book for this year that is coming out?
No, there's going to be two mysteries. This is the first one that will come out in September, and then another one I'm planning for December to have come out, and that'll be my last two. I think I have some anthologies in there, but I'm not really sure about the dates.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, sometimes
Once
that's
you give them the story, then sometimes you don't hear for a while. So,
correct. That's correct. Yeah, then
yeah,
it's time for you to move on to the next one and wait to
right,
hear about that one. All right.
right.
I want to thank you for taking time and doing the interview with me. Uh,
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for asking me.